Okay, so I'm making sauerkraut, and I just want to show you how easy it is. It's a great thing to do while you're watching TV, because you just put, this is one head of cabbage put through the food processor. It's just a normal, like a medium-sized head. And that's an apple. And it's already starting to brown because I'm taking too long here. But you put a couple tablespoons of salt. And you can use sea salt if you want to. But this is what I have right now, so this is what I'm using. And I haven't tried this recipe before. The other one I made was really good, but this I have a few different recipes I want to try, so I'm going to try them all. This one calls for some dill, which the other one didn't, so this was off of my dill plants out in the garden, and that's a tablespoon of dill. And then I just got this from Nutters, and this is funny because the juniper berries are like, it's in a shaker kind of container, but there's no way that they're going to fit through there. So it's funny that they use this container. But anyway, I don't care, because I'm just going to take the lid off. Sprinkle those on. I'm supposed to use a tablespoon of this, but you know, I'm just going to use whatever's left in the container, because my last recipe called for a couple tablespoons of juniper berries and 0 dill and no apple. And it called for bay leaves instead, and that one turned out really well. Anyway, so now all I do is I just mix this through with my hands. So sitting here watching TV, I just keep squeezing and squeezing. And it's amazing how fast the salt starts breaking down that cabbage. And eventually, you can already see it's getting kind of glossy on the top. Oh, there's a leaf I didn't cut up very well, but who cares? So, and I was thinking about it, and not everyone has a food processor, although they should, because it makes life so much easier. And you eat healthier once you have one. But anyway, if you don't have a food processor yet, then, I mean, you can always go buy bags of coleslaw shredded cabbage, you know, just without any dressing in it, just because you can see that in every grocery store. So if you don't have a food processor, look at how it's already breaking down, getting good and moist. Then just go buy a couple bags of that. Now you can see, like, one cabbage makes a huge amount of coleslaw sort of shredded stuff. So yeah, if you want to follow a recipe and you don't have a food processor, and you certainly don't want to be grating a cabbage by hand, because that, like with a grater, that would be a very unpleasant task. So yeah, you could just go buy a couple bags of coleslaw mix. So anyway, this is, like, it's getting, see how squishy it was? Lots of moisture in there. So it's breaking down pretty quickly. It doesn't take that long. Like, it would take a lot less time if I wasn't holding the camera with one hand, because now I'm having to do this with one hand. But it doesn't take very long, is what I'm saying. And if you're doing it in front of the TV while you're watching whatever, and we just borrow things from the library. We used to have cable years ago, but that is such an incredible waste of money when you can just go borrow things from the library. And even if you have a TAL card, if your local library doesn't have the shows that you would like to watch, you can always ask them to borrow it from some other library, and they'll ship it for you. It's awesome. And so you don't have to pay for cable, ever. And you don't have to watch commercials. You just get to watch seasons of whatever show you enjoy. Okay, and that's just about done. It's pretty moist now. I don't know if you can see this on the film, how moist it is, but there's a good amount of moisture squeezed out of that cabbage. So anyway, so that's it. Now all I do is I pack it into jars. I don't screw the lids on. I just put the lids on and then weigh it down with something. Put something on top of the lid, and then it sits and sits and sits. So put it out of the way because it takes a lot longer in kimchi to ferment. So I put mine in the basement where I'm not going to be tripping over it or knocking it over, whatever. And yeah, it'll be a few weeks and then we'll get to eat some. Oh, and I just made a mess on the floor. I'd knocked some out. Whatever. So yeah, that's how easy it is to make sauerkraut. Yeah, it's easier than making kimchi, but it just takes longer to ferment. So we already have our kimchi of 3-4 batches made in, and it's sitting four batches, and it's sitting in the fridge already. So we'll be eating that for a while, and then by the time we're done that, we'll get some more started, and we'll be eating sauerkraut. So that's terrific. And we get all this wonderful probiotic goodness that the fermented cabbage dishes will give us. So that's it. It's done. So that's sauerkraut. Now I put it in a jar and let it sit.